with this topic, what I did was I went for research, did what we call is a thorough research on images, syncretic images, which of Andhra and Telangana. So far, many of the art historians or people who wrote on the art of Andhra Pradesh or Telangana have contextually mentioned about such images here and there when they describe what we call a phase of art, particularly Chalukyan art or Kakatiya art, like that. But here what happens is, I am thankful to Preeta ma'am once again, because it gives me an opportunity to cull the whole of the information and put across at one place, so that it would be, I really personally benefited even in collecting the data. And at the same time, I think it may be useful for people who are interested on working on this particular topic. Yes. Now, I am now moving into my presentation. The topic of my presentation is syncretic images of Andhra and Telangana, because a few years ago, up to 7 years, I think we have the only one state called Andhra Pradesh. Now bifurcated into 14, both the states people speak Telugu only. Yes. Coming to the topic once again, we have so far, I think, familiar with the composite images or syncretic. Syncretism is a very nice word or a term that denotes whenever there is a small misunderstanding or friction or whatever it may be, sectarian rivalry in the society, these images were innovated, incorporated into daily rituals, so that the what we call the rivalry will be automatically removed, and people with religious harmony will continue to live harmoniously in the society. So this is the main idea. It doesn't confine only to Brahmanical Vedism, or it also even a few examples in Buddhism and Jainism also we got these syncretic images. To begin with, we have got earliest composite images of Arthanariswara datable to 1st century AD. That is, our Koshana examples are there. Then Ardhanari Ganapati, at a later period, Martanda Bhairava, Krishna Kartikeya, Harihara Surya Buddha. That is very interesting. The image is now located in, on display in Indian Museum, Kolkata. Harihara, Surya, Buddha. 4 images in only one panel. Then Shiva Lokeshwara. One part is Shiva, another part is Lokeshwara of the Buddhism. Then Harihara. Harihara or Hariardha, Shiva Kesava, etc. Many names are there. Harihara Pitamaha. This is actually what we call is combining all the 3 aspects of gods of creation, gods of what we call sustaining, and again God of destruction. We all know that Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. This in other term also called as Trimurthy or Harihara Pitamaha. Then one more innovative image has also come onto the scene, that is Harihara Arka Pitamaha. It is very interesting. Surya was also embedded into the system. Sometimes Surya was also called as Surya Narayana. But here what happens is Harihara Arka Pitamaha. 4 images put together to bring harmony when they are divided into sectarian aspects. After that, many more such images are reported throughout India, particularly in northern India. Yes. Now, coming to Andhra, what happens is that right from the 1st century AD, we all know that right from the 1st century AD onwards or 1st century BC onwards, we have got many terracotta images and images of the kaolin representing Mother Goddess. Mother Goddess, irrespective of the sites, whether the site is Buddhist, whether the site is Brahmanical, but we have got from n number of places. I can give a good examples, that is Dantapuram is a very Buddhist site of 3rd, 4th centuries BC. We got a Mother Goddess. Gopalpatnam, again 3rd, 4th centuries BC, we got a Mother Goddess of terracotta. Then coming to this Telangana part, we have got Mother Goddess images. Why Mother Goddess? She was given the utmost respectable position in the society. So it is quite common for both the Buddhists as well as the Vedic Brahmanical people also. So on one hand, we are getting images from Buddhist sites, as I mentioned earlier. Then on the other hand, from the Satavahana sites, that is Vedic Brahmanical sites, Pedabankur, Dhulikatta, Kotilingala. Then we also have got a good number of images from Kondapur. You all know. Yes. From that, afterwards, what happened was they are only terracotta and kaolin, but we have got a little bigger flakes made out of limestone. You know that Buddhists have selected limestone. Then from Karlapalam in Andhra Pradesh, that is coastal Andhra, very close to Bapatla, we have got a very beautiful Mother Goddess figure. I will show you. The picture now we are watching is on the screen is Mother Goddess from NAGARJUNAKONDA. So the same tradition followed. It is from again a Buddhist site. That Karlapalam is also a Buddhist site. So this particular image that we are now watching is what we call Mother Goddess image recovered from the excavations of Nagarjunakonda in way back in 1957. So it also has got an inscription. Just for the benefit of the audience, I will just read it out. The inscription: Siddham Mahadeviya Avhidavaya Jivaputaya Maharaja Siri Yehuvala Shantamula Patiya Kandovalaya Karita Iti. That is, the image of Mother Goddess was caused to be made by Kandovala Mahadevi, the queen of Yehuvala Chantamula, the king of Sri Parvata Vijayapuri or the Ikshvaku clan in 3rd century AD. So it denotes again, it is again the site is a composite site. Buddhism and Vedicism flourished side by side simultaneously. We can cite the best example of a syncretic site in early historic Andhra, datable to 3rd century AD. Then this is the example that I said now. Very can you please observe the entire belly is in the form of a Purnaghata. You all know that Purnagata, the ways of plenty, and in the neck portion we have got the lotus flower, and the what we call the both the legs are stretched on either side as if she is giving delivery to a baby. That is what we call representing the real sense of the Mother Goddess. This is dated to again 3rd, 4th centuries AD only. So what I mean to say here is that on both the sites, Brahmanical site as well as Buddhist site, we got Mother Goddess images. Just this also denotes the syncretism aspect. Yes, now we have got a good number of panels as early as 4th, 5th century AD in Andhra Pradesh, that a good number of Panchayatana. These plaques are called by C. Sivaramurthy and others as Panchayatana cults. What is Panchayatana? You know, na? That is, most of the people ascribe the concept of Panchayatana to Adi Shankara. But well before Adi Shankara, some 200 years earlier, in Andhra Pradesh, we have got these flakes recovered from Guntur, Prakasam, Nellore, and Kadapa districts also. These are just in general called as these things. You know that in the right side, you have got one image, then for Brahma, then you followed by Shivalinga, followed by Mother Goddess, Parvati, followed by Skanda Kartikeya, again followed by your Narasimha in the Vishnu form. So you have got all the Trinity, you have got Mother Goddess, you have got Kartikeya cult, then individual cult images of a particular sects are again for the first time combined and represented in one panel. This is the best example for what we call syncretic image as early as 4th, 5th century AD. And this particular panel is from Prakasam district, very close to a place called GOVADA in near Addanki. Addanki is the capital city of the first capital city of the Reddy kingdom in 14th century AD. Just to locate the what we call location, to identify the location, I am referring Addanki. So this is the very best panel. Even at the bottom, you can also see guhyas. Then again, some these what we call small images are also there. Next one is again one more. From the same place, we got 3 or 4, but there is little difference in almost All these things is that the facial expression, even the configuration of the images, asana postures of these things, and Mother Goddess also little bit of transformation. And underneath the Sivalinga, you have got this bull, and even Sivalinga, we have got Lakshanodharana Rekas. It is very, very, very important. These are also found as early as 1st century BC or 2nd century BC on the image of what we call Parasurameswara temple at Gudimallam. So this is the second phase. You can clearly see all the three phases of the Brahma. The fourth one is at the back side. So you can have a visual feast on seeing this image that Narasimha, earlier it is in zoomorphic form, but here what happens is the face is not that much zoom, but only the ears and these things are little bit different, but it is sitting on squatted posture on a very high pedestal. But again, Kartikeya is standing. Again, yes, one more figure with little differences. What happens is, I think this became so popular, or there is no need to have similar with little difference. We have recorded many panels from within the vicinity of what we call 200 or 300 kilometers radius, comprising that Hiranyarashtra, Kamarashtra, and Renadu. All these three geographical locations, we got all these things, places from Pedamudium in Renadu, again Duvuru in Nellore district, Addanki in Prakasam district, again our Guntur, from Guntur area, we also have got one such panel from Narsaravapeta area. So here, a little bit of difference you find, but not much more different, but clearly Mother Goddess is clearly defined here, and she is coming or taking the, what we call a slow phase, transforming into the Ladja Gauri aspect here. Again, you can also find little difference, no Lakshanodharana Rekas on the Linga. And you also have got that Linga Pita emerged for the first time, out of which in the later day, the entire Pita in the shape of an Upapita or Adhisthana has taken different form in later day. And the bull is so stylized, it is actually looking at the visitor. And you can also see a lady who is also worshipping the Shivalinga. So this is a new aspect as far as the iconography of this thing is concerned. Then again, you can notice what we call the Narasimha, again in a new form. Earlier it was thoroughly squatted, but now what happens was he has kept both of his front two arms also on the ground. Next one, similar one, but with little difference. I think some images at the bottom are not seen. Thing is that slowly there is a change in the iconography. Same from Addanki only. Yes, here you can also see putting across some more panels recovered from Pedamudium in Kadapa district, that is Renadu area. Pedamudium is a very famous Jain site. Most of the images recovered from Pedamudium are now under display in Government Museum, Chennai. So Pedamudium is such a wonderful place, both early historic, early medieval, medieval and late medieval also. Such a wonderful site. Please visit whenever you are around that place. Yes. Now, can you observe the very first? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panels are there. And on the left side or right side, I think, the top portion, you can see Ganesha seated. Ganesha for the first time is introduced into Panchayatana cult. So there is a little bit of change in the concept of the people or the religious ideology of that particular time. So the geographical description also slowly it gives us an impression that the cult is what we call spreading to different geographical locales in over a period of time, at least for 200 years, from 4th century, 5th century, and 6th century onwards. Come to the images, some only Ganesha is standing, and next 2 images, I think one Brahma and another is Vishnu are standing. Then next one, Ganesha again is standing on a very high pedestal, followed by your Brahma, then Narasimha, Shivalinga, then Vishnu, etc. Parvati is also there at the end, or Mahishamardhani. Some people identified it as Mahishamardhani as early as that thing. We have got Mahishamardhani images from 2nd, 3rd centuries AD from Veerapuram, followed by Kisaragutta. So in the 3rd and 4th panel, Srivatsa symbol has been incorporated on a lotus pedestal. It gives us a clear idea that worship of Lakshmi or Siri. We have got the Sirima Devata as early as Bharatna, 1st century BC. Then here, slowly what happens was, along with Parvati, Sri or Lakshmi in symbolical representation of Srivatsa and on a lotus pedestal clearly reveals the fact that Lakshmi is also worshipped along with other cult prime deities here. The next one, all the images are standing except Ganesha on the pedestal. So here what I mean to say is, there is a little bit of change in the iconography, little bit of change in what we call positioning the images and incorporating new currents. What is that new current? Ganapatya is the new current, and Kaumara, Kartikeya is a new current. But basically, they would like to bring all the Trinity at one place and introduce their wives also on the panel, and their family members also into the panel. What we miss here is the sun god Surya. So this is a clear-cut evidence of religious syncretism as early as 4th, 5th centuries AD in Andhra and Telangana. Now I am moving to another area. Early Saptamatrika panel. That is, this is actually what happens was a broken piece of Saptamatrika plaque, a small plaque, 20 inches by 15 inches. So this is only recovered from Pedamudium excavations some 120 years ago. But it also clearly reveals that Brahmi, Mahechari, Chaiva, Kaumari, Vaishnavi, Tatha, Varahi, Tadendrani, Chamunda, Saptamataraha, Dakshine, Adakshinausa, Verabhadra Vinayakau. This is, can you see, almost all the image gods, goddesses are put at one place. Brahmi, wife of Brahma. So I am not going to give details on Saptamatrika. So this also comes from a site datable to 5th century AD, Saptamatrikas. We have got earlier Saptamatrikas also from northern India. From here onwards, the Chalukyas have taken, they have fashioned in stone, and it continued up to the Vijayanagara period. So this is again introducing at one place. So there are no sectarian differences among ourselves. Let us worship all the gods at one place. Let us meet, collect at one place. Let us mix, mingle. That was the message spread across through these religions by our religious ideologists in early medieval Andhra. Yes, now from Kisaragutta, this is yet another unique, important image from Telangana. That is, Kisaragutta is a place 30 kilometers from Hyderabad, and it was also considered as the capital city of a dynasty called Vishnu Kundins, who ruled between 4th, 5th, and 6th centuries from this particular part of the country. And you can see in the visual on the right side, on the top, that is the excavated site of a palace complex, then followed by Shiva temple complex, which consists of 5 temples at a place, and all around we have got a good number of Shaivite sites, and there is a Jaina image also. So both Shaivism and Jainism flourished together at one place. Yes, now there is a part. Can you locate it? This part is called as Garbha Bhajana according to Silpa and Agama Shastras, wherein while we start constructing a temple or temple complex, we have to deposit Garbha Bhajana with all the ritualistic material. So that is what we call to denote the auspicious beginning of construction of the temple. This is for the first time with a vase all around what we call entwined by Sarpa, Vasuki. Then we also have got these Dikpalas and all the Dikpalas, no, Panchabhutas, our Krishna Sastra says, all are there on the top of the pot. Next to it is a very small image. It is again a very small flake of Mother Goddess. The uniqueness of this particular Mother Goddess, we have seen Mother Goddesses now just before it is at Pedamudium plate, Addangi plate, and earlier Karalapalam and NAGARJUNAKONDA. But here what happens is totally different. Took the entire human form, and both hands and breast, our legs, everything is visible with clear delineation. Here, the significance of this particular sculpture is, my dear fellows, please do not have any sectarian rivalry among yourselves. God is God, God for all. You among yourselves are dividing into Saivites and Vaishnavites, no, or Saktites. Please, let us mix and mingle. Here, God, Mother Goddess is holding with her two hands. You can see on the right hand, she is holding Sivalinga. That is equal. Saivism is respected. Then on the left hand, she is carrying the head of Narasimha, denoting that Vaishnavism. So what happens is, for Shakti or for Mother Goddess, both are equal, even for us. With ignorance only, we quarrel among ourselves, we develop animosity among ourselves. Please remove all those things. You please live so harmoniously, worshipping or this thing, adoring both Saivism and Vaishnavism. This is the best example, and this is now on display in our Centenary Museum in the state headquarters of Department of Heritage, Telangana in Hyderabad. Now, this is actually 5th century AD. Now, yes, I am again moving the concept of Trimurti, again enshrining the Trimurtis individually. We pray God Brahma as a creator God. We again pray Vishnu as the sustainer of the world. Then again, the destruction of the world. This is the cycle according to Hindu mythology. No? Then Shiva. So all the three were personified. They were given a configuration. So Brahma looks like this, Vishnu looks like this, and Shiva looks like this. And we can identify with their stature. Then again with the attributes, we can simply identify. Yes, what happened as early as, I think you might have seen temples, individual cave temples in what we call near Vidisha. There is a place called Devghar. Then again Vidisha, near Vidisha. After that is again you have got at Vijayawada, MOGALRAJPURAM, Akkanna Madanna. Many such things are there where you got clear-cut 3 or 4 examples in Vijayawada. 3 cells are there, one after the another in a row. The Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, they are independently accommodated, and on the top, their symbols are also represented in the kudus or niches, so that what happens was people who come to visit the temple will have the message of syncretism in their thought. So there will not be any problem in the religious scenario. Yes. Now, as I said earlier, this is a Trimurti temple, and on the top, on the entablature, you can see Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara with wives. So this is very significant as early as 5th, 6th centuries AD. Our cultural center of Vijayawada and Amaravati has organized a syncretic dance program of all the Indian classical dances at one place to spread across the message that is embedded into the Nataraja Trimurthi cave temple in MOGALRAJPURAM, very close to our cultural center of Vijayawada and Amaravati. Thanks to Kerala, that one lady has come and performed, Sheila Walson, I think. She has performed Kathakali from that place. Next is that in Vijayawada, opposite to Siddhartha College, we have got a small rock-cut cave. In that cave, can you notice all the 3 Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara are at one place in a small cell of 1.5 meter by 1 meter only. So can you notice there again, they have introduced on this side Mahishasura on the other side Ganesha. So slowly what we call is the Panchayatana cult, what we have seen in a place has been translated and transferred into shrines, small shrines and bigger shrines. This is again another what we can say that development in the cult of Trimurti, in the cult of Panchayatana. Next one is that, yes, it is again a very unique thing that this has also been studied by our respectable friends by S.V. Padigar long ago. Then again our Kulkarniji, who is an expert in art history and specialist in Chalukyan art and architecture. So this is a unique Arthanariswara sculpture, what we call delineated in the niche of a miniature shrine datable to the early Chalukyas. This is not of Vishnu Kundan. This is early Chalukyas, 6th and 7th century AD. This is from Eleswaram, a wonderful city also went in underwater, exactly opposite to the NAGARJUNAKONDA. So this is from that place. The message that they want to do is, my dear people, please go, raise temples, worship in number of gods and goddesses, but don't move away from what we call the harmony. What is that harmony? Here you can see the right hand is Shiva, the left side is Gauri. Shiva, Gauri, Arthanariswara. This is from 6th, 7th centuries AD. As I said earlier, Sulul, the entire delineation, exactly right half and left half is totally different, right from the headgear, that is Kirita Makuta and Jata Makuta. Then you also have Aidhas, attributes are different, ornaments are different, even what we call the delineation as far as the masculine and feminine pleasing appearance is also put into the image. So beautiful, small but beautiful. This is from Eleswaram, now on display in the state headquarters, Department of Heritage, Telangana in Hyderabad. Yes, please visit this also. Yes, one more image. Yes, Harihara. Earlier in my introduction, I told you that Harihara or Sevakai Savana. This is again of the 7th century AD, introduced by the Chalukyas. What happens was, at that particular point of time, only people are what we call divided into Saivites and Vaishnavites. There were some conflicts among those two sects. So why the conflicts? Let us live what we call harmoniously. I will practice my belief system, you practice your belief system. Sometimes we both will make worship at one place, Shiva and Hara. So this is again, after that we have got many number of images. Dr. B. Rajendra Prasad in Art of South India, Andhra Pradesh. If you refer that book, or many other individual scholars worked on different dynasties, art of different dynasties, you come across many such images in their descriptions. This is only sample because I'm given very little time. I only asked them. Yes, one more beautiful example of putting together at one place, though Shaivism wants to dominate the scene. Shiva is the prime god for Shaivites. But at the same time, they also want to revere, respect, give equal importance to the fellow gods of the Trinity, Brahma and Vishnu. This is from Alampur. You all know that Alampur is a wonderful, veritable museum of Badami Chalukyan art and architecture, mythology and history. At one place, you have got Vijayaditya has built a good number of temples there. This is called as Navabrahma temples. And on Swarga Brahma temple, on the wall, on the southern wall of the Swarga Brahma temple, you find a beautiful image of what we call Lingodbhava Murti. In the Lingodbhava Murti, you can see this linga. Then at the center of the linga, you can see Shiva with his own attributes standing in Samapadasthanaka. Then Brahma on this side, Vishnu on this side. What happens was, there are two important aspects. Brahma is moving up and Vishnu is moving down. What we call to know the origin of the linga and to know the extent of the linga. Brahma is moving up in the form of swan. Here it is only your human form, and boar head is there. So I am not going to give the details. What happens is, yes, though it is a Shaivite site, all the temples are dedicated to Shiva in the name of Brahma, Swarga Brahma, Arka Brahma, Garuda Brahma, like that. But what happens is, Bala Brahma, that here at one place when people go circumambulating the temple complex, they come to see, though Shiva is considered as primordial god for the Shaivites, Vishnu, Vaishnavites are also given equal place. This is the best example at one place, a syncretic image. I see syncretism in Lingodbhava Murti rather than the sectarian differences. Next one is, yes, moving to, because there are good number of examples and it takes a lot of time to give various examples from different dynasties that ruled over both Andhra and Telangana over a period of time. But now moving to Kalyani Chaluk examples, we have got good number. But moving to 1000 pillar temple Kakatiyas, contemporaries to Hoysalas and Solankis in Gujarat, but they are again innovators as far art and architecture is concerned. Though they followed the Kalyani Chalukyas, they have a little bit of deviation from the master plan and the star-shaped plan, Trikuta mode, and pillars all along the wall, innumerable pillars, then beautiful decorative moldings even on the top portion of the pillars. You can look at the 1000 pillar temple of Hanamakonda, which was built in 1163 by the Pratapa Rudra the first. So at Hanamakonda, what is the significance of this is he built a temple like how in Mandagapattu Mahendra Pallava has built for the Trina. Similarly, here also he has built a temple dedicating 3 temples in one complex dedicating to Rudra Vasudeva Aditya. It is very interesting. One temple, one shrine is dedicated to Rudra Siva, another is dedicated to Vasudeva, that is Vishnu, another is dedicated to Surya. Surya was given equal importance. We have got Panchayatana, Chatushkota, Panchakota temples are there where Surya is one among the principal gods that were enshrined. Even on the walls all around, you can see innumerable number of sun god sculptures at Ramappa, Ghanpur, many places. So here I mean to say here is that 1000 pillar temple at Hanamakonda is the best example to again bringing back the cultural and religious harmony among different sects of the Vedic Brahmanism. Now, yes, this is another view of the temple, another view, all the 3. Yes. Now, I would like to show you Narasimha, the temple dedicated to Vasudeva. The door frame lintel of the Ardha Mandapa is so meticulously carved. But here you can see Narasimha dancing. That is, the Vishnu is in dancing posture. Next one is Brahma in dancing in one posture. Actually, Brahma is also in dancing posture. Next one is that Nataraja in full-fledged form. He is actually dancing with almost all the attributes in his hands. On either side, you see Brahma and Vishnu also dancing. So this is a masterpiece as far as Kakatiyan art is concerned. Here I mean to say that what happened is that all the 3 primordial Hindu trinity are brought at one place, dedicated individual temples, but under one roof. One common Rangamandapa. That commonness is brought, removing the sectarian rivalry among the then Telangana or Andhrites, so that there could be what we call religious and cultural harmony. Yes, Ganapati Deva was very much open, though he was the very early kings of the Kakatiyas were Jains, but from Ganapati Deva onwards, they became Vaishnavites also. Not though primarily, but they also welcomed Vaishnavism onto their land. They built a good number of temples. Even Panchalraya temple, very close to Warangal, is just example for Vaishnavites. So this is by the Kakatiya time. Yes, very recently, I visited, it is a chance discovery for me. I visited people of a particular village called that NOMULA. They invited me, we are renovating a temple, why can't you visit? Most of the calls I get from different areas, as the culture center of Vijayawada and Amaravati is dedicated to locate, identify, sensitize the local communities on preserving heritage and posterity for the past 5 years. So this I found a very wonderful chance for me. I visited the place. It is 125 kilometers from Hyderabad, Nomula on highway. From Hyderabad to Vijayawada at 125th kilometer, we have to take left. 3 kilometers interior, there is a village called Nomula. While people are clearing the debris around a Narasimha temple, Yoga Narasimha, they found 2 interesting images. One, they don't know, they call it as Brahma. Another is Bhairava. Bhairava they could identify. This they call Brahma. I went, closely observed, but it is not Brahma. The body is one. It is actually Trimurthy, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. Can you notice on Akshamala is on the left original hand, and on the upper hand you find Shankha. On this hand you find what we call Sula, and here you find one Sruk. Sruk is also there of the Brahma. So all the 3 gods in one, molded into only one idol. That is, there are no differences among the Saivites, what we call the Satyadeva, that is Brahma, and again Vaishnavism. This is the best example. After that, again, Ardhanari Shiva we have heard, and Ardhanari Ganapati are varieties of things are Gopala Sundari. Gopala Sundari is a name that we come across in literature, and sometimes it is also called Satya Ardha Venugopala. That is Ardhanari Venugopala. This is from Salakam Seru. This has been stolen. I really don't know whether it is recovered or not, but we have documented as early as 1980s, and we wrote a small article also presented to Dr. Kenkan Saudari Garu. He brought out a book called Gauravam. It is there. It finds place in it in respect of a book, a fee script brought to Professor Shankar Narayan Garu. So the special aspect of this is he is standing in Ardha Swastikasana, Venugopala. He is playing flute. Again, he has got 4 hands. Then, what I mean to say here is, you can feel the breast on the left hand, protruding breast. That clearly denotes the Satyabhama, half Satyabhama, half Vishnu. Yes, why can't we? Ardhanariswara is not only specific for Saivites. We also have got the same Mulke. These people have attributed the same delineation and introduced into Vaishnavism. Pratapaditya Pal sir has written a beautiful image on Ardhanari Vishnu from Kashmir area. So this is another example. Next one, the last one I would like to say is that I am going to close my talk. Very recently, I visited Sri Salem. I visited many a time, but very recently, since Preeta ma'am has asked me to present a paper on this, I once again revisited the Sri Salem Prakaram. Can you notice? This is Shiva is at the center, and again your Brahma is here. Shiva is on the bull. Vishnu is in the center. Brahma is here. All the 3 at one place. Can we imagine? As if all the 3 are going in a procession led by the musicians. So what else we need for what we call to spread the message of syncretism or religious or cultural harmony in the society when there were the sectarian rivalry was conspicuous in the society. So due to paucity, due to lack of time, I couldn't give much more examples because most of you people are well informed than me. So I feel it is a chance to make a very brief presentation touching the syncretism aspect with a special reference to Andhra and Telangana, citing a few or select examples. So I once again thank Preeta ma'am, and again the authorities of the University of Kerala for giving me a very nice opportunity to share my thoughts. And again, to all the learned participants for their patient hearing, including Sivasankar Babuji and others. Preeta ma'am, thank you so much.